Good morning, Madam President, and good morning to colleagues on this side and on the opposition benches. Madam President, I rise to make a brief intervention under this head of statements by ministers to speak for just a few moments on the fire that we had at the Four Seasons Resort. I think all of us were alarmed when we heard the news circulating last Tuesday evening that the Four Seasons Resort was on fire. We saw the videos that started circulating, as is now the norm, on social media, and I believe that there was considerable alarm raised as, of course, Madam President, our people were concerned as to what the implications might be for the island if one of the most important employers on the island were to go up in smoke. Immediately, as again appears to be the norm, the rumors started to spread and all manner of things were being said. I would like from this rostrum to say that that fire originated, it appears, based on the investigation that has been conducted both by Four Seasons and by our local police and fire officials, that fire originated at a pro shop and thereafter engulfed the, it originated at the gym, fitness center, and thereafter engulfed the pro shop as well. Those two facilities, as we know, are stacked one on the other, one on top of the other, and I believe that those who know the layout at the Four Seasons would know that those two are removed some distance away from the main building and the rooms and villas. The report that I received both from our fire department and from the Four Seasons itself is that the firefighters performed admirably, that they would have responded with one of the two tenders from Charlestown, and then thereafter that would have been assisted by the fire tender from Newcastle, and that collectively, working alongside Four Seasons staff and I gather some private water trucks that were also brought into action, they pumped water from some of the ponds at Four Seasons and were able to contain that fire. The report that I saw suggested that our firefighters responded just around 8 p.m. or thereafter, shortly thereafter, and did not leave the scene until after 4 o'clock the following morning, when the fire had been completely contained. Now, of note, Madam President, is that the gym, fitness center, and the pro shop are within almost touching distance of the spa facility at Four Seasons. I believe that there is no more than 20 feet or so separating the two. And I think that it is a matter of some satisfaction. And from this position, I want to extend my heartiest congratulations to our firefighters that the spa did not receive any damage whatsoever, notwithstanding the seriousness of this fire. So they were able to contain the fire to that area of the fitness center and the pro shop, and the result, Madam President, is that the hotel is back in full operation. In fact, I think I would want to read into the record the formal statement issued by Four Seasons Resort. And they said this: on the evening of Tuesday, October 31st, 2023, there was a fire at the Pro Shop and Fitness Center at Four Seasons Resort, Nevis. The safety and well-being of our employees and guests is our top priority, and we are relieved to share that everyone is safe and unharmed. We want to extend our gratitude to our dedicated staff, as well as the local fire department and emergency services teams for their rapid response and efficient handling of the situation. as we assess the extent of the damages and develop a plan for the restoration of the facilities, the resort remains open and welcoming guests. We would like to express our gratitude to our guests, employees, partners, and the Nevis community for their support during this challenging time. We have since had a further update from the Four Seasons in a note sent to me, Madam President, and I quote, "With full support of the resort, local authorities conducted an investigation of the recent fire at the fitness center and pro shop at Four Seasons Resort Nevis and determined the cause was related to a malfunctioning piece of equipment. The property engineering team, alongside external experts, are now reviewing mechanical and electrical equipment on property as they look to further enhance already stringent engineering and maintenance policies and procedures. Today, they are pleased to announce that the resort has been able to successfully relocate impacted fitness services. Beginning Saturday, November 4th, that is last Saturday, SureFit, a new and rebranded fitness center, will be conveniently located next to the Calypso pool. As a result, the kids' club will be temporarily relocated next to the gift shop. Golf, tennis, pickleball, and spa offerings are fully operational and available for guest employment. Four Seasons Resort Nevis would like to once again express its gratitude to its employees, guests, homeowners, partners, local officials, and the Nevis community for their ongoing support. They look forward to welcoming everyone back to their beautiful resort." Madam President, I thought it was important for me to make this statement because for this hotel to have had a fire on Tuesday evening, and by Saturday, the gym was already back in a different location, now rebranded as SureFit, S-H-O-R-E-F-I-T, because it is on the shore now, it's on the ocean. And for them to have been able, Madam President, to relocate the necessary services without there being any interruption to any significant degree, I think it's a matter that speaks not only to their resilience, but to the resilience of the Nevisian people. And I want to say that because too often, we get the constant negativity that permeates the atmosphere. And we forget that this little island, Madam President, is all that we have. And that this little island has provided for all of us. And that this little island ought at every opportunity to be celebrated. And so I am delighted when I can see the Four Seasons' response is to say how satisfied they are with our firefighting team and our emergency response team, and how efficiently they handled the fire. I am happy when I can see that through the hard work of Nevisians, because at the end of the day, yes, we may say Four Seasons and their owners have deep pockets, but it is the Nevisian people who are working there. And they're the ones, Madam President, who would have ensured that the necessary was done so that just fire Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, by Saturday morning, Four Seasons is back with the gym and everything else. I believe that that is remarkable. I go back to what I said, that the spa is next to this raging inferno, and our firefighters were able to ensure that the spa was unscathed. I believe that is remarkable. Another bit of information, which I think the public and the House ought to know, is that while the fire was raging, Four Seasons workers, including my friend, I hope he doesn't mind me calling his name, Mackie France, well known to all of us, they were busy removing all the golf carts, golf equipment, golf clubs from the affected area. The result is that even though that single structure, downstairs and upstairs, would have been destroyed, Four Seasons could, as of Saturday, announce that their full golf and other activities are now fully available because, again, of the work of the Nevision people. And I want to praise Four Seasons for their response and their partnership to this island over all these decades, but also praise our people, because it is our people who rescued those golf carts and golf equipment so that they could have golf again available to their guests. It is our people who have worked to relocate the affected areas so that the services down there are not interrupted. And it is our people who will help to ensure that the hotel is rebuilt in the context of the affected areas. I have toured property, and I did not, my colleagues will also have toured, some of them, to see for themselves. I went the morning after. And, Madam President, we have pledged the government's full commitment and partnership in ensuring that all is restored in the shortest possible time. I believe I would want to end this short statement by indicating that even as we are here now, the Four Seasons is sold out. That they were forced to put out a notice to say that they will not be able to handle any outside guests because they are 100% sold out. And I am delighted, Madam President, that this mishap from last Tuesday has not impacted in any way the services and the quality that this resort is known for. And so people have come. They were, of course, notified that there was this problem. They have come anyway because we say Nevis nice, and people want to come to experience the niceness that is Nevis. I know that this is not the occasion for anything controversial, but I wish sometime that all of us would recognize that Nevis nice. Because the negativity that permeates the atmosphere constantly sometimes gives the impression that there are two Nevises. There's one that everybody's clamoring to come to and to see and to experience. And there's another one which I don't resemble, which I don't identify, which I can't recognize, and which doesn't resemble anything at all like what we who live here are accustomed to. And so I wanted to make this statement because of the need to be clear as to what happened, the need to be clear in terms of the response of our firefighters, the response of our emergency teams, and the fact that Four Seasons itself has singled them out for praise and commendation based on how well they handled the situation. It is a combination of efficient and effective response and the hard work of our Nevision people at that resort that allows me to stand here today comforted in saying that notwithstanding what could have been a tremendous tragedy for all of us here on the island of Nevis, that tragedy, through the grace of God and through the work of our firefighters and the work of our Nevision people at the Four Seasons, that tragedy has been averted. And Four Seasons is now back in business. We are hopeful that they will have the bumper season that they're predicting. And I am happy that none of us in this house could go down there today, tomorrow, or the next few days because they're sold out. I am happy that none of us, all of you who want to go down for dinner, don't go. You will not be allowed in. It is sold out. I know those words bother some people, but I am happy to stay here and say they are sold out. That means every room, every cook and cranny is full. That is good for us. Good for the government, good for the workers, good for the vendors, good for the restaurants, good for the taxi drivers, good for the water taxi operators, good for the fishermen, good for the farmers. It is good for all of us. That Four Seasons, despite the near tragedy of last Tuesday, is sold out. May it please you, Madam President.
Personal explanations. Introduction of bill and first reading.
Madam President, I rise to have introduced and read the first time in this Honorable House a bill shortly entitled Integrity in Public Life Amendment Bill 2023. This, of course, Madam President, being the first reading, the intention would be that the bill then would go for public consultation.